Maybe we start 1 minute again, Mr. Affero.
Yeah, sure. Take your time.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Academic Discussion Series 2. Today is the third meeting of Academic Discussion Series. The Honorable Professor Muhammad Bruri Triyono, Head of Technology Education and Vocational Study Program, Yogyakarta State University. My name is Lakpin. I'm doctoral student in Technology Education and Vocational Study Program. I will be the moderator for this topic. Alhamdulillah, today we got an excellent opportunity to have a lecture from an expert from Malaysia, Ts Dr Affero Ismail. He is head of UTHM Laboratory Technology Digital Innovation Center, DICE, University Tun Hussein on Malaysia. We will hear the presentation from Ts Dr Affero Ismail, and the topic is collaboration industry and effect in production-based learning. This academic discussion will be divided into parts. The first one is a lecture from Ts Dr Affero Ismail for 1 hour, and the second one is Q&A session, 30 minutes. I hope every student needs to prepare a question and strongly recommend it to get actively involved in the discussion. Okay, now I pass the floor to Ts Dr Affero Ismail, and the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Akpin Ramadan. Good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah. By the way, Akpin, TS is not Tan Sri. Yeah, in Malaysia we call it technologies. Yeah. Tan Sri is someone very high level. Yeah. So actually TS is
Okay, I'm
technology.
sorry, sir. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. First of all, thank you to Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta for inviting me here today in virtual. Yeah, meeting you in virtual on the academic discussion series 2. Yeah, and thank you to Prof. Buri as well for engage and initiating this initiative. And I think this is very good programs for all of the postgraduate students especially, and also I believe that some of the participants today are also the staff, yeah, and academicians at the UNY, isn't it? So shall we start now? So while waiting for others, I believe that more people will come to the platform later, but still it's time for us to start the session. So I'm going to share my screen. Yeah. So I told that secretariat to I'm more comfortable, yeah, to share my own screen because you are using Zoom. It's more user friendly because I can see both slide and also the participants in the platform. So the topic given, yeah, for our discussion today is regarding the collaboration industry and Tibet in production-based learning. This is actually very interesting topic and also very challenging, yeah, for us to dig further, to explain and to further elaborate because of the one more parties involved in this collaboration, which is the industry. So not many industries are willing to collaborate, willing to cooperate with the institution, especially in Tibet, because most of the companies are actually looking forward to generate incomes. Yeah, they are profit-based oriented, and some of them are not having enough facilities to facilitate in this collaboration. So it's quite a bit challenges for us as well in Malaysia, and I believe UNY as well to engage and to attract industry to be a part of your organization and to collaborate, especially in the production learning. So since the topic that we are going to discuss today is about the production learning, yeah. So My major is basically based on the, as mentioned by Mr. Agpin just now, I'm the head of the digital center, and my expertise is more related to the training and curriculum development towards digitalization. But when talking about the production-based learning, and also this type of learning, it comes to my mind that uh, I believe that the production-based learning is being implemented widely in Indonesia and even in Malaysia. But when I try to find the exact definition, yeah, the specific definition about the production learning, so it's more related to the product-based learning. So it might be wrong, it might be true, because there are so many scholars, there are so many literatures out there that you can find in the academicians database. Yeah, but then uh, what we are going to talk today is about how can you differentiate between product-based learning and project-based learning. Before we go further into the collaboration with the industries, the first thing that we need to understand is about the type of the learning. So this might come to your mind that what is the difference between product-based learning and project-based learning. So what we are going to talk today is about the production-based learning. Based on the literature, production-based learning is defined as the procedures or steps that need to be performed by the educator. Yeah, this is the methodology or procedure or technique that need to be implemented by the teachers, by the lecturers, for to facilitate learners to actively learn, participate, and interact. Yeah, we want students to learn, to participate, and interact with a competency orientation to produce a product, either goods or services required. So what we can see from this definition is that production-based learning uh, must be accompanied with the teacher's guidance. You or lecturers must be together in the process. At the end of the process, we will achieve or we will produce something called as products or also maybe services. This product can be any, for example, tangible products, also intangible products. For example, when we produce some products regarding electronics, yeah, when we produce a robot, yeah, after the process of the production-based learning. So at the end of the learning outcomes is we need to develop or we need to produce a product at the end of the learning. Yeah. Or also some of you are maybe working with the hospitality sector, yeah? Hospitality, tourism sector. So your product might be different. Yeah. Maybe for example, your product is regarding the services that you like to offer to the customer or to the tourist. And then some of you might develop a structure, yeah, a system to help your hotel industries in taking care of the customers. Yeah, so this is an example of what kind of product that we can produce at the end of the production-based learning. So, but when we talk about the project-based learning, project-based learning, some people call as PBL and some people call POBL, yeah, because we would like to differentiate between project-based learning and also problem-based learning, yeah, because some people say that problem-based learning is PBL, yeah, but the another term is project-based learning. For the project-based learning, is a teaching method, also a teaching method in which students can learn by actively engaging in real world and personally meaningful projects. So there is no ultimate product here. Sometimes the project-based learning won't require you to produce a product, because the most important things about the project is the process. You need to learn, you need to bring your students. For example, if you are a lecturer or you are a teacher, you need to bring your students, you need to bring your training towards a process, a project of a process in developing a project. So it doesn't matter how, whether your project will become successful or not, or maybe your project can become a failure. Yeah, you won't achieve a specific target at the end of the learning, but then you learn something during the project, during the process. So this is the basically the difference, yeah, the differences between production-based learning or product-based learning and project-based learning. So in diagram, I would like to show to you that the differences between how we actually can differentiate, how we can implement, yeah, the product-based learning and the project-based learning towards our students, and even use yourself if you want to integrate the product-based learning in your process. So this is you need to understand what's actually the meaning, what actually the content of each of the PBL and then the project-based learning. So the typo here, project-based learning, yeah, on the right side here. So as you can see on the left side is product-based learning, which is what we are going to talk today, is about the production-based learning. For product-based learning, you actually can do that alone. Yeah, you can be done alone and you can be done it in a group. But sometimes the assessment will be evaluated individually, yeah, because at the end you will produce something. Normally we also categorize the product-based learning, yeah, into final years project, final year students project, because they need to produce a product at the end of their final year project, yeah. For 1 year, for example, they need to develop the proposal, and then on the second semester they need to develop the product. Okay, and the second one on the right side is requires collaboration and teacher guidance. So for the project-based learning, yeah, if you want to implement the project-based learning, it requires collaboration. You need to form a team members, yeah, you need to put students into groups, and you have to guide them for each step of the project processes. Okay. The second one, the product-based learning, of course, must be related to the product. If you fail to produce the product at the end of the process, you cannot come out with anything. So the product-based learning is not effective. Yeah. But as compared to the project-based learning, it's about the process. Yeah. You will learn something on how to find literatures. You will learn on how to engage with the stakeholders. Maybe in this term, in regards to the processes, maybe you are need to involve in engaging with the respondents. Yeah, you need to find a respondent. You call them, you engage with them, emailing them. So you know the process. You know how to collect the data. You know how to analyze the data. But sometimes at the end of the process you fail to produce the product. So but the most important thing is what you have learned during the process. But regarding the product-based learning, you need to produce a product. Okay, for product-based learning is teacher directed. Yes, teacher directed means that you have to instruct students to develop based on the timeline, based on the criteria, based on the specific requirement. So the students we always get assistance or get direction from you, from the teacher. But for the project-based learning, it can be any. Yeah, it can be multiple plan. You can go to plan A, you can go to plan B or plan C, and then student also can plan their own strategy, their own pathway or their own journey towards the process. For product-based learning, they lack real-world context. Yeah, they lack real-world context because they just focus on the product. They just focus on the timeline. They need to produce something based on the criteria, based on the requirements. But if we refer to the project-based learning, it's based on real-world experiences or problems. We need to understand what actually need to be tackled, yeah, need to be overcome to solve the problem. What are the solutions? The solutions might be many. Yeah, the solutions might be works well, but sometimes not works very well. So this is the process. And product-based learning occur after the real learning. So sometimes you need to understand first the real environment. The problems come first. You have to solve the problems. For example, the industry problems. You need to understand their environment. You need to understand what actually the needs from the industry, and then you can come out and you can produce a solution which is a product. Yeah. But for the project-based learning, real learning occurs through the project. You learn the real learning through the process. Along the journey, you will learn something from that. And then for the product-based learning, all projects have the same goal. So the goal means that what are being directed to you, what are being assigned to you, that is the goal. For example, I as the consumer, I as the industry, I want you to produce a product that can be used by a number of students, yeah, a number of students to facilitate them on how to learn on how to utilize a robot, for example. So your direction is towards to produce a robot that can help the students. So that is the goal. As compared to the project-based learning, student choices to determine the outcome. Yeah, student will choose what are the outcome of the project-based learning. You have to design yourself during the journey, but sometimes, yeah, during the journey, the student might find difficulties or challenges during the process. So they might change their goal. They might change the outcome. So this is basically the basic idea, yeah, between the production-based learning, product-based learning, and also the project-based learning. So if we already understand this, so we can move forward on how actually we can get the industry involved in the system to make sure that they understand their roles and responsibility in the production learning. So this is 9 level of production-based learning. If we are talking about the curriculum aspect, yeah, we are talking about how we are going to assist students in the pedagogy way. So we need to understand about the 9 level of production-based learning. For example, yeah, some of you are actually lecturers here. Maybe you would like to design some training or some learning materials to assist your students in terms of production-based learning. So we can go through this 9 level of production-based learning. The first one is analysis of curriculum and learners' characteristic. First, we need to understand what kind of the subjects that we are going to teach, what kind of the curriculum that we are being imposed on. And then after thorough study and investigation towards the characteristic of the students, some students are not really familiar with the industry process, for example. How about the prior knowledge of the students about the learners' knowledge and skills? So we need to understand about their existing skills and knowledge as well before we conduct or before we implement this production-based learning. And after that, see, the second step is identification and product analysis. What kind of product that we want to produce? As I mentioned just now, the first one is about the goods, yeah, the tangible one, or the second one is about the services, intangible products. So if you are from engineering or technical or technology, you might come with a physical product. But if you are coming from the we call that like hospitality services, yeah, social sciences, maybe you want to produce some kind of intangible products like system, structure, or mechanism, and so on. So these are your goals. So the second one is you set the goal for your student. And the third one is creating important questions about the product, which is for example, what are the criteria of the products? What are the specifications? What type of the platform that you're going to use? What kind of material that you are going to use for the product? And what's the function of the product? So by creating important questions, yeah, so the students will understand on actually how to respond to each of the questions to their processes. So, and then the student we need to mapping, to map the questions into the product. So which questions need to produce first? Which one we need to follow first? So of course, yeah, in developing certain products, sometimes we use quite numbers of methodology or model. For example, AD model. Yeah, have you heard about AD model before this? Yeah, Azure model. AD is analysis, design, develop, implement, as evaluate. Yeah, AD. And then we got Azure model, waterfall model, prototype model, and some of you might heard about CDIO, conceive, develop, implement, and operate. So we can use any type of model in developing uh, the methodology of production-based learning. And then analysis of equipment and materials needed of the product which was going to be made. Yeah, some of the lecturers, some of the institutions are actually, because they have a good collaboration with industries, so they won't have any issues on the equipment and materials because all of these things is being supplied by the industry. But then what happened to, yeah, because of lack of collaboration, lack of MOU and MOA with industries, so every single things need to be funded by your own institution. So this is one of the benefit when we have a collaboration with industry. And then the number 6, yeah, number 6 is making schedule of implementation of making product. This is about the timeline, yeah, the schedule. We need to produce a specific schedule for students to follow. So for example, if you want to complete the product making in 3 months or 6 months, so you have to plan properly for each of the stages. That's the reason why I said that the production-based learning is teacher-oriented, teacher-directed, teacher-instructed. So normally for the production-based learning, uh, the teacher or instructor is always there, yeah, for the whole processes, as compared to the project-based learning. It's more flexible. Yeah, we give them timeline, and then you are learning on your own pace, and then at the end of the timeline you come back to the teachers and give some explanation or presentation regarding the processes during the project-based learning. But for the production-based learning, you might need to plan a regular meeting or regular presentation, which is step number 8, evaluated regularly. Yeah, because it's really important, because we want to make sure that the students produce a good product, yeah, produce with the specific criteria required by industry, for example. So we need to evaluate regularly. For example, the first step is about student how to design uh, the diagram of the structure, or I mean the storyboard of your system. So we need to evaluate that storyboard first before the students go or proceed to the next level. So this is really important. And then lastly, about the number 7, some of the institutions are lacking about this step. Yeah, they miss this step because of the capacity, and then they don't have much information regarding on how to go toward commercialization. So last step is creating business plan. After you are making products, you are not going to waste it. Yeah, we need to utilize every single investment that you put into the product into commercialization, which is you need to understand on how to creating a business plan, and how you are going to sell the product, who is your target consumer. And then one of another thing is what we are also taking into consideration as the KPI is registration of the IP, intellectual property. So this is the 9 level, and the last one is about commercial. Go to penetrate the outside market. Yeah. So this is also another model regarding the design of production-based learning. Yeah. This is also similar, but this is about how you design what we call like worksheet, yeah, product requirements, instructions to the students. You need to provide this to the students before they start the production-based learning. So you have to understand about any analysis, the material, yeah, the production-based learning model, and then give testing. Some of you need to go through revision, yeah. The product needs to be tested, evaluated, and then if the product is satisfied, which is we can say that it follows to the requirements and the needs from the industries, we can just go and proceed to the commercialization. But then if there is some error, yeah, the test fail, so you need to go back to the evaluation processes. Yeah. So this is another model that we can follow. But basically, uh, what we need to understand that the production-based learning must comes together with the teacher instruction and must be very comprehensive. Yeah, must be very comprehensive. Some of this detail can be provided by the teachers, but some of the detail can go through by the team members discussion. So they need to produce some sort of timeline, yeah, and methodology and mini proposal before executing certain products. So at the end of the production-based learning, yeah, through the production-based learning, we have to map with our graduates' outcomes. The most important things, yeah, the three important domains in TVET, which is we always talk about in many of the scholars out there. Yeah, TVET is related to the heart, related to the mind, and related to the hand. Yeah, head, heart, and hand. So the head is about the cognitive, yeah, the cognitive aspect. The heart is about your affective, and then your hand is related to the psychomotor. So this is the outcomes of the graduates of TVET that we need to consider while when designing the production-based learning. Sometimes we miss some important components, which is the affective. Yeah, we always take into emphasize on the cognitive. We need them to understand this kind of knowledge. We need them to explore certain theory. We need them to study certain papers, yeah, regarding the structures or regarding the specifications of the product. And then we want the students to develop themselves, which is using their psychomotor, yeah, to learn on the motor skill, yeah, to develop the products. Maybe some of you are from electronics, for example, using the electronics system devices and to assemble components, yeah, and then that is psychomotor. But don't miss about the affective domain, because affective also is very important for their interpersonal skill, social skill, communication. When we talk about affective, it's related to more to the currently we are talking about 21st century scale. Yeah, for the 21st century scales, there are four important C. We call it as 4C. The first C is communication. The second C is collaboration. The third C is complex problem solving. And then the last C is creativity. So when we talk about 21st century skills regarding the affective domain, it always comes to 4C. Yeah. So make sure that they have communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and also creativity being implemented during the process. And the last outcomes of graduates TVET is entrepreneurship skill. Yeah, entrepreneurship skill. Some people say that technopreneurship is up to you. Technopreneur, entrepreneur, many other entrepreneur, TVETpreneur. Even now we have TVETpreneur in Malaysia. So basically uh, the content, yeah, about the entrepreneurship is about the students to become a job creator, yeah, to become a job creator, to become someone that can survive after graduation, because most of the graduates actually becoming the job seeker. They are looking for jobs. They are looking for the employer, yeah, but actually they also can become their own employer, which is they can start up a business. Yeah, we call it as a startup. Yeah, startup business. There are many initiatives, yeah, being imposed by our government. For example, some of initiatives is like they give some seed money to the students to start their business, and then they support the students in terms of digital platform, yeah, to do marketing. And one of another initiative is conducting trainings, yeah, training to students, yeah. I mean, finishing school, yeah, or students that are going to graduate, we give them training on how to develop digital content and also digital marketing, yeah, to help them to survive later, you know, because many of, yeah, even existing staff or employee right now is being terminated, right? So because of the COVID, so many of them get need to shift their jobs, and this is the time, the good time for the reskilling and upskilling. So at the end of this arrow on the right side is the market demand. Yeah. Why this is really important? We need to understand what are the demands from the industry. For example, now people are looking forward to the e-hailing or like Grab or Uber, right? So this is the market. And then some people say that this is very famous now, gig economy. Yeah, about the gig economy. So now people are more involved in the gig economy. So this is another issue that we need to tackle on. And also another uh, new or latest trend is the youngsters now are moving forward to the metaverse. Yeah, they are now buying digital currency, yeah, cryptocurrency, and then some of them are working in the virtual environment. So those are the things that we need to consider when designing the production-based learning, because at the end of the system, at the end of the processes, we need to make sure that the student learns something that can be applied to the real environment, which is what they have learned during their study is actually being demanded by the industry or being demanded by the market or community. This is really important. So this diagram is actually adapted from Indrati Kusumaning Ruma Ganefria and Hendra. I think these people are Indonesians, and then the authors are actually from University Negeri Malang, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So let's move to the academic and industry partnership. So we have learned just now about what is really important elements in the production-based learning. So now the production-based learning will become more effective if we have industry partnership or industry involvement in the process. Let's go take a look at this triple helix model. Yeah, the triple helix model explains about the three important domain for organization, yeah, to sustain. For example, we are now in this green round, yeah, green circle, academia or institutions. So if we are staying alone as the academician, our graduates will not be accepted by industries. Yeah, our graduates will not perform well, and then it's not holistic. Yeah, our student will won't survive out there. So it is really important for us, for academia, to have involvement with the industry. On the right circle, yeah, on the top left, the industry. So you can see that the academia will benefit from industry, and at some point, the industry also will get benefits from the academia, which is the win-win situation. Yeah. So from the academia to the industry, we can produce new product concept. Yeah, because we need to understand actually what are the moving in the technology world right now, what are actually being demanded by industry, and what are actually the issues or critical aspect that we need to solve in the industry environment. So that's why we need the industry participation in this process. And at the same time, industry also need advice and experts from the academia, which is the institution, because we have so many experts, yeah, in institution, in Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta also. There are so many experts in culinary, in engineering, in technology, but then you are working in silo. You're just working around you in the academicians, in the institutions. You are not go beyond your institution. So just go outside there. There should be some kind of initiative or requirements. Yeah, actually at our institution, we are implementing this, that each of the lecturer need to have one industry collaboration. So each of us actually have one MOU. So this is the step taken for us to move forward, yeah, from academician to the industry. And then as you can see from the right side, from the government, of course, they need to give funding, yeah, funding to the academician institutions. And some of them actually not giving funding to industry, but you give some benefits to the industry, such as the tax deduction, yeah. And then the industry will provide a job to the public, yeah, for employment, tax benefits to citizens. So this is some sort of the triangulation, triple helix between academia, industry, and government. So they need to work together to establish a good graduates, yeah. But now we can also refer to the quadruple helix, yeah, quadruple helix. Just now is triple, now we add one more components. If you can you clearly see what is the actually new component included here? Yeah, the last one, number 4, is the civil society, or some people call as community. We as academia, yeah, get funding from the government, get involvement with the industry to create the curriculum and the syllabus, doing the R&D, yeah. And then, but then how about the community? Of course, Tibet will dealing more about the community around us. Some of the initiative that we need to take consideration is giving back to the society. Yeah, because we are using the tax money from the citizens, and then we use the government support, yeah, coming from the public taxes. So we need to give back to the society. That's the reason why we need to always make sure that our curriculum are in line with the industry's needs, yeah. And also we need to make sure that our graduates after graduation they will get employed. You know that now there are so many programs are not really reliable or relevant any longer now, yeah. There are so many subjects or programs being terminated in Malaysia because of the employment issues, because of the graduate employability. So some of the programs are related to sciences, yeah, like chemistry, biology. There are not much jobs or occupations being offered in that area, because Malaysia, I think, is also similar to Indonesia. We are not like a developed country, yeah, like United States, like UK and Australia and Japan. They need more people in the sciences sector or STEM. But Malaysia, we are more on the manufacturing. Yeah, we need people that can taking care of the industries, processes, yeah, manufacturing and the factory. So this is the reason why some of the programs are not relevant any longer. And even some of the programs in our institution also being revised to integrate more ICT components and technology components. Even you are studying culinary, but still they need to learn on how to use ICT and technology in their curriculum. So this is kind of like a cross-cutting all over the programs. Yeah? And then if you can see on this civil society, yeah. So the arrow for the civil society is being directed to all industry, government, and academia. Yeah, government also respond to the civil society, industry also to the community, and academia also to the community. So this is the one most important parts that we need to take into consideration when designing our production-based learning. So now also from the academia as well, we are also promoting or introducing the spin-off. Yeah, spin-off is a company being developed by the students and by the staff with the involvement of the industry. Yeah, so I will show you later a few example of that, which is we are now moving forward to become entrepreneur by doing real businesses. Yeah, by doing I mean that we need to have the products, and then we sell the product itself to get some profits, and then we get money from that. Yeah, now we are doing this. Okay, so as we can see that from the Tibet institution industries collaboration, there are so many things that we can work together. There are many angles that can be filled up by this collaboration between institution and industries. When talk about the production-based learning, it is actually more related to curriculum updating and the program. Yeah. And then institution industry collaboration program, and then work-based learning program. So production-based learning can be in any of these collaboration. For example, if you send the students to internship, yeah, internship program at the industry, or for example, automotive industry, and then you assign them to develop a product during your internship. So this is also called as production-based learning. And some of you actually might integrate the production-based learning into the final year product. I mean, final year projects, student final year project. At the end of the project, the students need to produce a product. So this is related to the curriculum. And then for the work-based learning, yeah, student will learn at the industry. So, but the most important thing is the industry accept our student. So they need to be aware that to be ready to receive student at their industries, because as I mentioned just now, that industries are not really favor, yeah, especially when we are dealing with the small medium enterprise, yeah, industry, small industry. They only have around 5 employees, and then each of the employees have their own responsibility. At the end of the day, they need to produce something, they have the job scope and so on. So if we send student to them, it's like the student is just giving them some distraction. Yeah, nobody will want to teach the student. Nobody will want to take care of the student. So this is critical issues that we need to tackle on. And then the financial assistance programs. So uh, of course, yeah, of course, TVET's programs actually the best practices as we compare to the Germany system. For example, the TVET programs comes from the industries, not come from the institutions or the academia, because TVET's programs need to be requested, yeah, to be introduced by the industry. They are actually developing the curriculum because they know what are the needs of the industries in today's world as compared to us, the academicians or academia. And then program for bridging the technology gap. So this is more like reskilling or upskilling for TVET teaching staff or the lecturers. We can send the lecturer to the industry for certain period, for example, from 3 to 6 months, for them to learn something in the industries. And then this is also interesting industry or PhD program. We also have a similar program here at UTHM, because industries are very busy to go to the institutions, yeah, to get study leave, and then we give them option to do the PhD industry. Okay, and then I would like to share some of the TVET Malaysia 7 strategies, yeah, to shift the industries. This is like a attraction to the industries to get involved in TVET in Malaysia. So the first one is about shifting train and place. Yeah, we give training and then we give place for them to place and train strategy. Yeah, we give them job first and then we train them. You know why we are moving to this, because of some of the graduates, when they got training and then they are not getting the place, yeah, and then sometimes they move to different industry, they move to different company after being trained. So it's quite an issue, yeah, because we have invest certain money to the students to get training, but then there is no place for them. But now we move towards place first and then we train them. And then the number second is co-ownership model between government and industries for equipment, technology, expertise, and innovation. So this is like blue ocean strategy. When we buy some equipment, the equipment actually shared between the governments and the between the institution and the industry. For example, a mechanical machine, yeah, CNC machine in our institution, it's actually being owned by the industries and by our institution. So it's a win-win situation. The benefit from doing this strategy. is actually the industry can come to our institution to use the equipment, and we also can learn from the equipment. I can actually the equipment is the real equipment that is being used in the industry. The third one is industry-based center of excellence as a way to coordinate all TVET institutions to optimize government funding. So this is one single institution or center of excellence to coordinate all TVET institutions, and then the funding giving by the government will go through this COE. Yeah, and then COE will coordinate, will distribute and all of the fundings to all institutions. Number 4, flat mobility to expertise to coordinate the industry and TVET institutions. Yeah. We also accept the industry's experts to become our lecturers or teachers, yeah, with certain payment, because they are still working at the industry, but maybe 2 or 3 days a week they come to the institutions to teach the students. And then TVET valued industry partners to encourage industries-led TVET system. We're giving them some acknowledgement, yeah, to the active industries to be recognized in Malaysia. So they are very happy, yeah, when we appreciate their involvement in TVET institution. Number 6, employment opportunities and fair wages to ensure a clear pathway for TVET graduates. So this is really important, because when we are talking about TVET, people always say that the TVET is second class. Yeah, TVET is for students are not really good in academics, students are fail in their school, so they go to TVET. But then now I can say that the TVET academician is at par. Yeah, and then even their salary also very high, quite high, similar to graduates from academics. And then number 1, industry-led competency certification bodies like German GDVT model to make sure there is no job mismatch. This is why I told you about the curriculum is being developed by the industry. The industry themselves need to work very active, yeah, to give advice to the government. We need this kind of training, we need this kind of competency, we need this kind of certification, as compared to the conventional way. We start the process, right? We start we identify the programs we want to offer, but actually the industries are not very demand for the graduates from that sector. So we need to understand the real needs, the real requirement from the industries. So this is better if the industry themselves to produce the competency certification, which curriculums comes from them. Yeah. So this is actually the source is from the Ministry of Education of Malaysia. Okay. So through the collaboration, in UTHM, I want to share to you a few of the center of industry of excellence that we have established so far. So this is the first, not the first, the second center, being anchored by me myself. Yeah, I'm as the head of the center. We have involvement with the UTHM LabTech Digital Innovation Center. The LabTech is a company in Batam, Indonesia. So see, there is one Indonesian here, Mr. Ignatius Daud, yeah, from Batam. So this is our team member. So since we still have time, I would like to show you this video on our center. UTHM LabTech Digital Innovation Center, also known as DICE, was officially established on 28 February 2021. This center of industry is
I'm sorry, sir. The screen not.
Sorry, can you see that?
No.
Is it moving?
Masih PowerPoint.
Oh,
PowerPoint.
I stop sharing first. Can you see that?
Yes. Okay.
All right.
UPHM, NAPTEC Digital Innovation Center, also known as DICE, was officially established on 28 February 2021. This Center of Industry, COI, is responsible to accelerate the development of innovative solutions for digital learning from the research and development stage to the commercially available stage. As a technology and innovation center, it provides a flexible and efficient services to empower digital teaching and learning. DICE is located at Faculty of Technical and Vocational Education, University Tun Hussein Malaysia, UTHM, governed under the Research and Innovation portfolio. It is a joint collaboration between UTHM and LabTech. LabTech was formed over 30 years ago and is one of the largest technical and vocational education system designers and manufacturers in the world. LabTech's prime focus is to provide comprehensive 21st century skills that infuse technical and engineering learning solutions for vocational technical schools, polytechnics, and universities. The development of lab tech has been guided by professional educators from North America, Europe, and Asia that have many years of experience in the field of international education. LabTech has assisted thousands of schools in over 80 countries to improve their technical education systems. LabTech have offices in 7 countries and over 30 agents located around the globe. This center is anchored by a head of center supported by principal fellows. Meanwhile, it is also being affiliated by staffs from other faculties. The composition of various personnel from different fields is to ensure that the initiative towards digitization of curriculum is aligned with the national agenda. Subject matter expert SME are selected based on their expertise and experiences in the area. DICE serves as an incubator in planning and designing digital content that follows the requirements of the latest curriculum and technology. DICE offers various and in-house training for TVET staff and knowledge transfer programs for external institutions and agencies. DICE vision is to become leader in the development of digital learning and to mainstream and empower digital learning through training, research and development, technology and innovation for nation. Its objective is to serve as a hub for knowledge and technology transfer, collaboration with industry partners for solutions, particularly in digital learning, through training and capacity building activities, and open up opportunities for more systematic development, research, and consultancy activities, particularly in the areas of TVET, digital content, and Industrial Revolution 4.0. DICE is dedicated to enhancing the delivery of TVET through digital innovation and aspires to become global leader in digital learning. Build your own future.
Okay, so that was my center. Yeah, we are developing products. Yeah, also using the production-based learning because we have a certain criteria, a certain aspect for the product to be developed. And then this is another center, also involvement and then collaboration with the industry, which is Fraunhofer. Yeah, Fraunhofer is from Germany, if I'm not mistaken. They are more on the electronics and mechanical. I'm not sure about that, but this is one of another initiative that is being imposed by our university to get involvement for industry. So we benefit from them actually because they can supply some equipments. They can give internships to students. Some of them are taking our students as their employee after graduation. So this is another example. And then this one is a center with the government of Malacca. Yeah, if you have been to Malaysia, to Malacca. So this is a Pusat Konservasi Arkeologi Survey and Tata Cara Pemeliharaan Warisan Kasturi. Is more on the they preserve the culture, the buildings and heritage in Malacca. As you know that Malacca is being gazetted by the UNESCO heritage. So the government also giving opportunity for us to collaborate in certain researchers, and then they give our student internship and then to develop some products. So this is another initiative, actually how to we would like to attract more industries to come to our institutions, yeah, through a partnerships and collaboration. And then what I told you about the programs on the industry involvement, this is one of the model we call as the work-based learning. So from work-based learning, some of students will be sent to industry for 2 years, for example. At the industry, they need to solve the industry's problem. Yeah, they need to solve the industry problem, which is these programs cannot stand without the industry involvement. The first criteria that we need to have is to need to get involvement from the industry. If there is no industry in the program, so we cannot offer the program. So this is the first requirement from the Malaysia Qualification Authority, MQA. Yeah. So this is really important because the industry will give them job placement, and then the latest technology will be trained based on the latest technology that is being used by the real industry, yeah, not by the institution. And then this is basically the summary that I can summarize regarding the industry role in production-based learning. Of course, the most important thing for us to success to develop a product is to having a good facility and equipment. Some of the institutions are very lacking in this aspect because they don't have much funding. They don't have proper facilities to help the students to develop the product. So at the end, the product is not useful, it's not really effective, and then there's no point for us to impose a production-based learning in our curriculum. And then they provide subject matter expert because they will become advisor for the student apart from the lecturer. They can give advice to the student on how to develop certain products, what are the materials that we need to use, what kind of the temperature. For example, if you are working with something related to the heat and the temperature, so those are the things that we need to get from the industry. And then bring students to real environment. This is also very important because if they want to solve the real problems, they need to go to the real environment. This is why we need to bring students to the industry. And then investment in the production activity. Yes, this is another alternative source of funding. The funding can become the support for the students to develop the product, and also some of the funding comes from the government, from pemerintah, and also some of the funding can be gained from the industry. So more funding will create more massive and huge impact project. So involved in curriculum development, of course, I know that UNY also got their own industry experts to advise on their curriculum, and involved in development until commercialization, because after the product finish, so what happened next? So the industry need to have institution to sell the product, to use the product and to commercialize the product. So if not, the product will be sent back to the store, right? Will go just be displayed on the shelf, not go forward or beyond to commercialization and innovation. So when we talk about the financing, yeah, financing, the company or industry can give money in terms of the wages, training equipment, and then sometimes they can give sponsorship to the students. Yeah, last time when I went to UPI, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, there is some programs being funded by the industry. They're looking for the students, excellent students, to get sponsorship, yeah, for the whole of the study. And then tax reduction, training wages. So the industry need to understand what are they are paying for, what they pay for. So this is really important for us to give detail on what the money is going to use for. Okay, and then how funds are raised and distributed, benefits in relation to cost. Of course, industry want the ROI back. Yeah, they need to get benefit or profit to them after giving certain money. Yeah, and how financing of work-based learning is managed and steered. Of course, we need to give regular updates on how their money being used. So this is basically when we want to offer a work-based learning at our institutions, when evolving the production-based learning. For example, this is the cost and related to the cost that we need to bond. Yeah, maybe from industry or maybe some from the institution itself. So just now I mentioned about the Master of Industry or PhD of Industry. So this one is the new program being offered by UTHM. For people from industry, they don't have to come to the university to study, and then they don't have to produce like a thesis like us, yeah. But then they just need to produce certain reports, yeah, certain reports and certain papers, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure about the detail. So, and then they solve the industry problem, and then they will get award of the master or PhD. Yeah. So I think that's all for me from the sharing. It's time now, right? 1 hour. Now we move to Q&A. So if you have any questions, so I'm happy to hear from you. Any feedback or any comments, or maybe you have anything to share with the floor. So you are most welcome. Okay, let's go back to Mr. Akpi. Right.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Affero. That was very interesting and insightful. And thank you for coming, Professor Bruri. Hello, Prof.
Yeah. Thank you.
Maybe
Yeah,
to
Prof.
say something.
Okay. Thank you, Affero, Dr. Affero. Thank you for your time. I think it is fine for me in here, for us in here to join with this event, because it is important to the student, especially to give them like experience learning how to get the lecture from abroad, and then there are something new for the other countries about the collaboration between industry and different institution. Again, thank you very much, and then enjoy your discussion with our student. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Prof. Uri, for inviting me here.
Silakan, Mas Apin.
Ya, kesemuanya ada international, ada English speaker di sini.
Ya, ada. There are some Mali, I think. Sorry, there are student from Mali.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Akpin, please continue your guide. Hello.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. We have 30 minutes for this session. I can see the students are very eager to ask questions. Please introduce yourself before you ask the question. You can hand raise and turn on your microphone. Okay, Mr. Valian, please.
Okay, thank you for the opportunities. Of course, thank you so much for Mr. Affero for the presentation. I'm interested in the difference between product and project-based learning. I think I need more explanation, especially in for the difference between product and project-based learning, because you mentioned that in product learning, a student like real world content. I need more explanation about that, because I think if we make a product, it must be used or maybe already in the market. That my question. So I need more explanation about that. Thank you, Mr.
All right, thank you, Mr. Valian Perdana. on the questions regarding the product-based learning and the project-based learning, right? Yeah. Yeah, of course, this is now we are dealing on the definitions, yeah, operational definition on the product and the project-based learning. But somehow, actually, we can also integrate both, yeah, project and the product. Yeah, we can also mention to the student if you have failed to develop the product, but at the end you're learning something from the process. So your questions regarding the product, isn't it, Mr. Valiant? Yeah.
Yes, excuse me, sir.
Yeah, you mentioned about the product just now.
Yep. About the product, because I think if you can make a product, so actually the student is already get the competence, and of course if you can make a product, maybe the product is already used or be sold in the market. I need explanation about that, because in the point for you that in production based student lack experience of the real world. I need explanation about that.
Oh yeah, all right. Yeah, actually, this is one of the. It's not well can be implemented to all, but actually this is one of the issues regarding the product-based learning, which is the students might have lack of real environment. You know why? Because when we are giving them instructions, we produce or we prepare everything for them. Yeah, for example, we give them equipment, we give them devices, we give them sources, and even we give them funding. So they don't have to find out their own way. So they don't have experience to dealing with people, to pitching a project, and then even on the certain timeline is being, they get many assistance from the subject matter expert, from their teacher as well. So they don't have to worry much, you know, because some of the product actually also is a KPI of the lecturer. Yeah, so you as the teacher also need to chase for the timeline. So you need to push the student, and at some point, sometimes you help them. Yeah, the guidance. But as compared to the project, sometimes the ultimate goal is not the product. Yeah, the project-based learning is about the process. Yeah, even you are not getting the product or you not produce the product at the end of the learning, you still gain something from the process. So this is the project. But for the product, if you cannot develop, cannot produce the product, you will be failed. Yeah, you will be failed. So this is one of the biggest differences between those two. Yeah, Mr. Valiant. Thank you for your question.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Affero. But let me make a information one thing. So
Yeah.
if we do the product learning, actually the student only get consequences in score, right? But in project, we need to know details about not only the end of the results, but of course in the process. Is that right, Mister?
Yeah. The product itself is actually something that we can see, something that will be produced, either tangible or intangible. But for the project, some of the strategies can be changed during the process. Yeah, because they might face some difficulties or challenges during the process, so they move to different plan. So we can accept that. But for the product, for example, yeah, for example, I want you to produce a house that using the bricks, yeah, the bricks. But at some point, there is shortage of bricks. You don't have enough material, so you change to another material. So industry won't accept that. Yeah, we won't accept that. You need to follow the requirements. You need to follow the instructions, and then the specifications. Yeah, so this is really important points between the project and the products.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Affero. Now it's crystal clear. Thank you.
Yeah, and more information, yeah, Mr. Valiant. The students, for example, they are doing the projects on the different materials. They still learn something. If they change material, they learn things from that. Yeah, so that is when we talk about the process. Okay, good question, by the way.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Affero. Anyone? I will ask you, Dr. I have the question about TS in Malaysia. It like engineer
Yeah,
regarding the
TS.
okay.
TS is a short form for technologies. Yeah, technologies. Doctor, you know, a doctor is doctorate, so we use .dr. But for the technologies, we use TS. You know why we come up with that term? You know, so I think you are really familiar with the IR, right? IR, engineer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
The
those
senior
who are
graduate.
graduated.
Yes.
Yeah, for graduated from the engineering, so you can use the IR if you get qualified from the body. But then for those who are graduated from the TVET, yeah, from the TVET, they are not engineer, they are technologists. So for those who are capable of getting a professional evaluation from the body, they will get technologist title. Yeah. So now Malaysia got two because we recognize the graduate from TVET. And then graduate from TVET as well can become a professional like engineer. So maybe Indonesia can do something like that maybe in the future. By the way, Mr. Agpin, which field are you in? Are you from? What is your background?
My background civil engineering.
Civil engineering. So you have to go for IR, yeah?
Yes.
You have to go for IR.
So TS, it means technology. T for technology. S
Technologist.
technologies. Okay.
So I can share with you, yeah, this website about the technologies website if you want to read later, yeah. I will show in the chat box. So this is actually for industry, yeah. Yeah, actually it's actually a good question regarding the TS because it is also related to the industry. For those industries, they want to involve in the TVET, they also need to register for technologies. So I've shared to you the website, and as you can see in the website, there are so because we are in the discussion, right? So I will share to you the screen right now. I will just show you the screen. So this is the technology field. So this is the technology field. We have electrical, ICT, chemical, telecommunication, biotech, building construction. So Mr. Akpin, maybe you are from this building and construction technology, resource-based, manufacturing, agro. So you can pick and choose any of the field for you to become professional. So if you qualify, and then you will get TS title for the field that you are in. Yeah. So now we have 24 field. You know, because it is very clear that for engineer you have IR, but what happened to graduates from the TVET? Yeah, from the technical polytechnic. So they are not engineer, but they are technologists.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Affero. It's interesting. And anyone? Any questions from other? Okay, please, Mr. Ari.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Akpin. Excuse me, I want to ask Mr. Affero. Thank you, Mr. Affero, for share your knowledge from University Tun Yusen on Malaysia. My name is Harry. I'm from Doctoral Program Technology and Vocational Education. Maybe my question very fundamental. So my question is the first. I still confused actually what is the difference between technology education, engineering education, and vocational education if in the Malaysia, because all of them relate to humans, occupation, and industry. Maybe all of them in the product-based learning or project-based learning. And then my question, the second, is it true that engineering education is part of engineer because engineering education is one of the influencing factor of the development education and demand industry. No, but engineering education more dominant to the learning and the curriculum. Maybe like that. Please your opinion, Mr. Affero. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ari, from vocational education, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so actually, I'm in the same faculty, faculty for vocational and technical education. We train teachers, we train lecturers to become vocational teachers and TVET teachers. Okay, for your first question, it's regarding the differences between engineering, technology, and vocational, right? So last time, if you refer to the UNESCO about the TVET, vocational is related to the vocation, related to the occupation. So when we are talking about the vocational, your program is related to the skills, to the skills, hands-on, psychomotor, and then the students go to school just to learn the skills. Yeah, that is called as vocational. If we talk about the percentage between theory and practical, the theory is so minimal, like 20% or 30%. But the rest, 70% comprise of the practical and then hands-on activity. So that is the vocational. Yeah. So vocational, yeah, I'm talking about the situation in Malaysia. Yeah. So before this, vocational and technology are two different pillars. But now we merge vocational and technology into one pillar. You know why? Because for a person to become technologist, you need to understand about the vocational first. So they need to go to vocational school first, and then after graduating in the diploma level, yeah, or certificate, when they continue in the degree level, they will become technologists because the degree is the name of the program is uh, a bachelor degree of technology in manufacturing, for example. So if you want to compare to the engineering, the name of the program is bachelor degree of engineering in manufacturing. So this is different. Yeah. If you are taking the technology programs, you will become technologists. That's why Mr. Akpin asked me about the TS. So for the students who are graduated from the technologies program, they will become technologists. So for those who are graduated from the engineering, they will become engineer. Yeah. So this is the program. So what happened when they are graduating? After graduating, the technologist engineer, their responsibility is different because the technology is dealing with the analysis. They prepare the schematic, they prepare the calculation, but the one that's going to implement to be applied is the technologies. Yeah, so they will work together. Some people get technicians. Yeah, technicians is also before you go to technologies, you need to become technician first. So this is the pathway of becoming a technologist. So engineer, of course, engineer, they got a uh, uh, very well instruction, very well body that is being imposed by the government, like Malaysian Board of Engineers, yeah, maybe Indonesian Board of Engineers. So that body will cater about the engineers. So this is a well established, so engineering, but also in the part of the TVET, it depends on the country. Yeah, but in Malaysia case, vocational and technologies is TVET. Yeah, and engineering is engineering. Okay. All right. So on the second questions, you mentioned about the engineering education, right? Yeah,
Right.
engineering education. So this is my personal opinion. Yeah, this is my personal opinion. Education is education. So either you are engineering educations, technical educations, vocational educations, they are all the same. The pillar is education. So So the education is about how you teach the students. It's about learning. For example, production-based learning. You also can use production-based learning in TVET. You also can use production learning in engineering, also in technical technologies. So we can cross-cutting any. But what difference between engineering education and technical education is the curriculum itself. Yeah, the way of teaching also different. You teach in TVET. If you are a teacher, if you are teaching at the vocational school, it's different if you are teaching at the science school. Yeah, for example. So during the engineering education program, it's about how you teach the students to teach on engineering. Yeah. But if you go to the technical education, you teach your students on how to teach in technical. Yeah. So there are different. If you learn about the pedagogy style of learning, there are so many, right? Yeah, there are four-step patterns, Gartner model. You have instructions model. Yeah. So there are so many models. So it's different if you are taking consideration who are your respondents, who are your students, and the curriculum that you are teaching. So this is my personal opinion regarding the differences on the engineering education. Miss Ari,
Yes.
do I answer your questions?
Uh,
Okay.
okay.
Any feedback, Mr.
Okay. I think it's clear. Thank you very much, Mr. Affero, Mr. Akpin.
Thank you for the question.
Okay. Maybe one more question. Any more?
If there is no
But
question, yes, I have. It's not question, Apero. Is it
Yeah.
due to the lab tech? Because
Right.
I think it is important for us as a TVET personnel to build the capacity of our activities, especially in digital. And your center is in my mind. I think your center has collaboration to develop the center with the lab tech. Is it true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The university provide us some space for us to set up the lab, and then the lab tech provide equipments. Yeah.
That's
This
good. That's good.
yeah.
And then with Germany,
No, lab tech is a US company,
okay.
but this is located in Batam.
I know, I know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I
So
think it's good. I think it's good collaboration. Good. What's meaning? Strategy how to build the center. Right? It's good, and then it give me like example how to develop our labs in here, because we have a digital lab, but it's like a baby just born. And then in my mind, I think for the future is important for us to develop that lab. And then I try to follow your advice how to make a collaboration with lab tech. Thank you. Congratulations and success for you.
yeah, probably. Yeah, thank you very much.
okay.
Yeah, for your information, yeah, probably.
Hmm.
When we develop this collaboration with LabTech, more investors are coming, more
Hmm.
investors are coming. Even from the UNESCO, they are very interested to know about this kind of collaboration. And then they are trying to imitate this kind of collaboration in other institutions.
Okay, it means like for the first time, because in a 2026 27 in this month we will meet with a lab tech in Bangkok. I think
Oh, I see.
there are some person from UTSM join with us in a Siam Tech conference in there. Okay, I will
Yeah,
ask
tell me
you
about that.
to the lab tech. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay, hopefully we can visit LabTech and GTHM. Bro.
Yeah, please come here. And then we can arrange some visit for you. Yeah.
Okay, that was an interesting discussion. And we come to the end of our academic discussion. Thank you very much. Technologist Dr. Affero Ismail. Is right? Is it right? Technologist ES.
Yeah.
For the knowledge and the discussion, we found them very useful for our insight, leading us understand better collaboration, industry, and TVET in production and learning. Ladies and gentlemen, that was all for our discussion today. Thank you for today. And this is the final. We can take the picture. Please turn on your camera. Hello, Chisa. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm good.
It's from Mali, Dr. Affero. Okay, thank you. Okay, this is the final, and I'm from as a moderator with the. Okay, thank you, Dr. Affero Ismail and Professor Buru Triono, and for the class. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Affero.
Thank you.
Mr. Affero.
Thank you very much.